award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. The men's and women's Pioneer basketball seasons are just about underway, with the men's taking a win against Brooklyn College and the women starting their season Saturday at Drew University. Here to preview both of the seasons are Daniel Karp, Andrew Ballistreri, JJ Woodards, and Andy Gavin. Guys, the men's basketball team kicked off their season against Brooklyn College Wednesday night, and there was a big standout in that game. Graduate student MJ Moncrief had a phenomenal game. Andrew, take us through his game.
Yeah, MJ Moncrief making his William Patterson debut. Taking a look at his stats. In 29 minutes, this guy posted 20 points, 5 steals, and 8 rebounds. And listen, he shot 9 for 12 in his debut. And Mark, I had mentioned it too when we were on the call. It kind of reminded me a little bit of when Brian Monahan made his first debut at William Patterson. I don't remember, it might have been against Brooklyn College as well, I'm not positive. But he had a great game, hit a couple of threes, and he was in there down the stretch. And another thing I want to mention is Moncrief came in this game as a sixth man. If he continues his play, I could definitely see him sneaking into that starting lineup. Yeah,
we talked about that. But Moncrief absolutely balled out, right? But besides that, I want to start with you, JJ. What were the keys to William Patterson winning that game against Brooklyn College?
Well, I'm going to say the defense down the stretch. With 3:44 left to go, Pioneers are down 64-59. Looks like the game's going to get away from them, but then they seemed to outscore the Brooklyn by 11-2. It was just, they played defense, they got active at the end, and came up with the dub.
Yeah, I mean, really good defense there from the Pioneers. Daniel, what do you have for us on why the Pioneers won that?
There's a few ways we could go about this. I'm going to go with teamwork down the stretch. Brooklyn was up 64-59 with 4 minutes left in the game, and Willie P went on a 10-2 run to end the game. But not just that, number 25, McClyde Barlow from Brooklyn, 6'7" man, got taken out. He was out for a little while with a little injury, and he outsized Shane Genie early on in that match, who was about 6'4". So that was good. In the final 3 minutes, obviously, they went 10-2. They also have 21 points off turnovers and 20 points off the fast break. But like we said, a lot of men got scored. Got four guys over 10 points, and that really contributed to the win against Brooklyn.
Absolutely. Andy, what do you have for us?
Diversity in scoring. You had Tyreek Montgomery, Sean Summers, Neff Valentine, and MJ Moncrief all over double digits. That's the key of winning games. If you can get the ball in the hands of more players, getting more points up, that's how you're going to win games.
Yeah, absolutely. But, staying with the men's basketball team, they lost 3 team leaders this past offseason in Cody Ripido, Michael Gilmore, and Adrian Lopez, all leaving the team. There's a few returning players that have the potential to fill those shoes that they left. Daniel, what returning player do you think is going to make a big impact for the Pioneers this season?
I'm going to go with my guy, Neff Valentine. Neff is going to start. He looks like he's going to have the starting role this year. He had 11 points in 26 minutes with 2 3-point scores the other day. He had a really nice. He started really nice. He had a nice season last year, averaging almost 10 points in about 27 minutes. He's probably going to be the third option on this Pioneers team with Montgomery and Sean Summers. So look forward to seeing him get some points.
Yeah, absolutely. Andy?
I think the only answer really is Sean Summers.
Our guy.
Yeah.
Our guy.
I mean, he started 24 out of 25 games. He led the team in scoring, led them in rebounds. He shot his team best 52% from the field. He had 21 double-digit scoring games, and he was named to the NJAC All-Second Team.
Yeah, I mean, he was great last season. He's looking to bounce, just continue that
Absolutely.
This year. Bally, who do you think is going to make a big impact?
I'm going to go a little different than these two guys. I'm going to go with the senior captain, Pat Monahan. If you look at the stat sheet, the stats don't really show what this guy means to the team. I mean, he's been there all 4 years so far, and, now, as I mentioned, he is a senior and he is a captain. But he's a big locker room guy, and he's there. He's kind of the glue. He's trying to keep the chemistry right, keep everybody in check. And, I expect him still to get about 10 to 15 minutes a game. But I'm also looking for improvement from him as well. I needed some better defensive energy. Need him to do a little bit better shooting behind the arc, just 7 for 30 last season. And listen, Pat Monahan, P-Money, he's still the charge god, so you always got to watch out for that.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does this season. But, JJ, who do you think is going to make a big impact for the Pioneers?
Tyreek Montgomery, and it's not going to be on the offensive end. It's going to be on the defensive end.
Yeah,
I feel like he's our best perimeter defender on the team. And when you have a guy like that, he just makes the overall defense better. And defense wins championships. Yeah, he wins games.
Yeah, he was playing a lot bigger than his size. Only 6'2". He was going up there for rebounds, getting blocks. He had a really good game. But transitioning from the men's team to the women's team, they lost 3 key players as well, with Justina Cabezas, Allison McBride, and Akira Rosa all moving on. Like the men's team, though, there are some players that can look to fill those shoes. Andy, Gavin, who do you think is going to make a big impact for that?
It's got to be Brianna Smith. I mean, Brianna Smith, she had a career-high 36 points, 10 out of 18, and an overtime overtime come from behind win. And Rowan started all the games last year. She averaged about 15 points. She buried almost 50 threes last year, and she finished second on the team scoring.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she had a phenomenal season. Looking to build off of that one. Andrew Ballistreri, what do you have for us?
I'm going to go with now junior guard Victoria Palladino. And, she's got huge shoes to fill now with Yakira Rosa gone. And last season, Vicky P, she was averaging about 5 points a game, 5 boards a game, 2 steals in about 30 minutes. And, I need her to step up a little bit more on offense now, especially with Yakira being gone. So hopefully she can get close to that 10 points a game mark. And she's been great on defense throughout her whole career, so I'm really not worried about that in the slightest.
Yeah, she has the nickname Pala Defense for a reason.
Exactly.
JJ, moving on to you. Which women do you think is going to make a big impact for this team?
I'm going to say Renee Wells. Last year averaged 11 points, which was third on the team, 5.5 rebounds, shot 34% from the three, 36 from the field. She can do better a little bit, but I feel like she has a potential to be that second scorer for the Pioneers, and they're going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, Renee Wells, it felt like she was NJAC Rookie of the Week every week last year. But Daniel, close us out for this one. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Patty Walsh, the first-year player as a sophomore coming in. She's coming in at 6 foot. She hasn't played yet, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. She has over 300 career rebounds at Middletown North in high school. I'm just excited to see some athleticism. Well, a problem with the men's and the women's teams is that they're all undersized, and having a 6-foot center in there is going to be a really big boost to the Pioneers.
Yeah, absolutely. The size has been a factor that they've lacked over the past couple of years. Looking forward to seeing that. But moving on, they're going to take a trip down 287 to Drew University for their season opener. JJ, take us through this. How did these teams stack up last year?
Well, let's go through this. Well, the Pioneers last year averaged 62.6 points a game, while the Rangers averaged 66.9 points a game. Willie P only allowed 59.6 points a game, but the Rangers' defense is tough, 55.2 points a game allowed. Field goal percentage, we only shot 37%, while the Rangers shot a very good 42%. And three-pointers made, we averaged four three-pointers made, and the Rangers averaged 5.1.
Yeah, I mean, despite those stats where the Rangers did look favorable, Pioneers got the win over them last year. Bally, what's going to be the key for them getting the win again here now in this season?
I'm super excited to check out this new look offense. I mean, as I mentioned before, of course, Yakira Rosa is gone. But the bigger name, even bigger, is Justina Cabezas is also gone. So, we're going to need people like Bree Smith and Renee Wells to absolutely step up in this offense. And as I mentioned before, Palladino also needs to step up. I expect her to be more of a facilitator, but, she's going to be dishing that ball to Bree Smith and Renee Wells. And, you're going to have to need these people to step up on offense in order to win these games.
Absolutely. JJ, going back to you, he said offense. Where are you going for how the Pioneers can win this one?
Well, of course, I got to go opposite. I got to go on the defensive end, of course. Always, I'm a big defensive guy. I always feel defense can win you games, it can lose you games. And as we saw in the stats over there, the Rangers can score. So the big key is going to be stopping them.
Absolutely. Daniel Karp, take us through this one.
It's going to be getting rebounds with the new addition of Patty Walsh. They're losing 6-foot Allison McBride, who had over 5 rebounds last year. And also in Drew, you got the Hazel twins, both 6 and 6'2", that's going to be patrolling the paint. And you know what? They really need to get some rebounds. They need to get the ball. They need to get offensive rebounds for better opportunities, and they need to get defensive rebounds so they can bring the ball back to their side. And you know what? If Patty Walsh is not there, you're going to have freshman 5'9", Mena Hafiz, also is going to be patrolling the paint too for the Pioneers. So look to get some athletic rebounds.
Absolutely. Andy, close us out for this one.
It's got to be shot selection. I mean, we saw last year a lot of threes going up and, not hitting them, a lot of forced shots. Pass the ball. Don't look for the open shot. Pass the ball. Ball movement is key, and if you can get that open shot, take it. Don't force it if you don't have it.
Absolutely. But we want to wish the women's team luck in their game against Drew and the men's team luck in their trip to Westfield, Massachusetts as they partake in the Westfield State Tournament. Coming up next, we've got some NFL action here on Sports Desk.